Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
It is a Friday DBU. Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports. I'm DB. That is Matt Abaticola. No, it's Friday Feedback Friday, so we're going to be diving into that. I was saying never miss a mailbag, and we will be doing that today, and also our top 10 list. I've got my top 10 concerts I ever attended. Matt's not a big concert guy, expanded to live events entirety. So this is going to be fun. Really looking forward to this. But something happened yesterday in our offices. We had a high-level corporate meeting here, as we do every once in a while. And what we have is an important personnel announcement that we thought you, yes, specifically you, would find interesting and exciting, because I know that we do. We were gathered on a conference call yesterday, and we were sitting with some powers that be within our corporation. And as you know, as you know, we here at 312 Sports are part of the Gamut Podcasting Network, and proud to be part of it. The Gamut Podcast Network has just hired an executive producer for the network, not just for 312 Sports, but for the entire national network of podcasts, of all the podcasts we have, the narrative podcast, the true crime stuff, everything. We needed an experienced podcast executive to be the everyday executive producer on the network level. And I thought, okay, this will be somebody we can work with. I'm sure there's always we can expand our horizons and learn to work with different people and different experiences and different histories. And
then we learned who it was.
And then they said, and here it is. Here is the new executive producer of Gamut Podcast Network. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Zampillo. Are you kidding me? Dude.
I'm ready to expand your horizon. Right.
You better
get ready, friends.
You better welcome. I was so excited
going on.
Oh, so excited to hear about this. So tell us how this happened.
Well, against my better judgment, knowing that you guys were part of the network. No, I kid. Love you. No, I've been talking to the head of John, who heads Gamut, for like a year and a half, just orbiting him. And there came a point in time where I was available and he was looking for somebody, and we had chatted on and on for, a year and a half, like these things go. And then it materialized to the point where he hired me, and, I guess it was beneficial that I had some history with the both of you, since 312 Sports is such an important part of the business as a whole, and somebody needs to try and manage you. I mean, John has officially given up, by the way. He got
Is that
hired,
what it was? So you figure them out.
I am blocking Bernstein on my phone now, and I may never talk to you again. You're good luck, Godspeed. So so it was great. Started about a week ago, and here we are. The reunion is official. I'm happy to be here. It's actually pretty cool to be working with you guys and everybody, honestly. As much as I will tell you otherwise, probably off the air, I do respect and am thrilled to be part of it.
Yeah, we're super excited to have you as part of the Gamut and now 312 Sports family. Z, I saw your LinkedIn profile update, and I thought, wait a second, he's Gamut? No, that's good news. So very excited to see you yesterday in the meeting. So for those in our community that maybe don't know Dan Zampillo, Dan worked with us at The Score. So he was actually an executive producer, on-air host. He produced Bors and Bernstein. He was the sports director. So he was a suit at The Score as well, but had a very good and very successful on-air career of his own at The Score. So we go way, 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 way back to Dan. I know, Dan, you knew Terry and his family as well outside of radio.
Yeah, I did. I mean, I lived like Just the next street over. So my mom ran over his mailbox once, which was a very excellent and wonderful
right.
moment. Oh yeah, don't forget about that. Yeah, which led to upon years of on the show. But yeah, unfortunately, obviously, we all know Terry recently passed, which was sad. But I've been fortunate enough. I mean, I saw his son like 6 months ago when I was in Chicago. Spent a little bit of time with him, but yeah, I mean, the memories, it's crazy, and the idea of being able to. And by the way, Matt, so sweet of you, a successful on-air career at the Score. Yeah, it's
You
like
did.
at night, buried as far as you can. It's like, oh, hey, who wants to host Saturday night at 10 p.m. when everybody's having fun and you're young? Like, oh, Zampillo will do it. Yeah, throw
Hey,
him on here.
I
It'll
had
be
that Saturday
great.
night shift, and I love that Saturday night shift, so it was fine. But at least,
I
hey, at least you were scheduled to go on the air. You didn't do it on your own. It wasn't pirate radio, so that was good. That's a plus.
No, it was legitimate. I mean, as much as it could be. But yeah, I don't know about successful, but I decided to become an evil corporate overlord instead of an on-air host. I felt that was just the right vibe for me, is like be the guy who tells people what to do so that they can give them the finger and whatever else happens. I mean, I've been screamed at by numerous talent, so it's been great, as you can tell with my. I mean, you've got it too. Great, you guys. We've all gone gray. I mean, I don't have any hair left, but when I saw you, Bernstein, I was just like, Jesus, like the silver.
Yeah.
That bit of a stretch, but silver something.
Yeah, well, no,
I'm sure.
it'll never be fox. It'll be silver. I don't know if I'm going to be a walrus or maybe a sea lion or something would be probably the better analogy. But see, I had a melancholy moment actually yesterday when I got home, and I texted Beth right after we got out of the meeting. I said, "Hey, this is really cool. This is fascinating, and it's just amazing how these paths diverge and converge and diverge and converge again." And I felt kind of sad because the first thing I wanted to do after I talked to Beth was I wanted to call Terry. And how proud he'd be, of seeing with your experience that you've been running stations, you're out running ESPN LA and going from market to market. Then you were with Spotify, and like you could not be in a better position for this particular job at this time with everything that we're doing and everything we're trying to grow with Gamut, and certainly just still in the infancy here of 312. And I know he would be really proud of you, and he'd be really excited for you and excited to see the three of us here right now. And that made me a little sad that I couldn't share it with him.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Like, I mean, Terry was always just like such, I mean, and Matt, you know this too, like supportive of us behind the scenes too, and really was, he liked the idea that he kind of had a tree, right? And the McVay coaching tree kind of thing, where he's like Abaticola and Zampillo and all these other guys. I think that he liked that. He smiled about that at the time.
Fishman too, Matt Fishman. The idea, his people running radio stations.
Yeah, and just doing successful things like, Jason Benetti, right? Who was like an like all these guys, girls have done really successful things. Now, he would say he's proud and then spend the next 3 minutes making fun of me about everything imaginable about me, my life, and family, and, whatever. But which was, you got like 15 seconds of I'm proud of you and 3 minutes of, oh, you're the worst, you're weird, you're a douche. Yeah, it's but no, it's a great time. I've been very fortunate in my career to be in some really cool places, and this is another one. I mean, it's not just smoke blowing. It's like when they signed you guys too, and just in talking to John back in the day, it was like, that's a smart move. Like, here we go. Like, you need somebody who can kind of make that imprint right away. And good or bad, Dan, you make that imprint right away. That's how it's been since the very beginning. So, no, I kind of dig in, and I know there's a lot more coming on the 312 like network across the board, so that's exciting. And Matt, I know you have your own podcast, and the Bears are good, which I still
Yeah.
cannot like. It does not compute for me sometimes that I'm sending these text messages to my friends about positive Bears conversation and not just like, just. I mean, you remember, what I thought about yesterday, Bernstein, is when Dick Duran was the head coach, and we did the whole "What's in Dick Duran's headsets," and it was the
That's
girl
right.
from Ipanema just
And
playing.
which is still referenced. It is still referenced to this
Yeah,
day.
Yep.
People hear that, and I've been to people to hear that. Oh, that's the Dick Duran headset music.
that's it. I still think of it every time.
Yep.
It's like, or there's a combination of that, and it's not my show, but I'm on that show. That was
Yep.
just like it really together. But it's been so fun, and it's a great time. I mean, the Bears should, hopefully continue to be good, which is obviously a Christmas miracle, and we'll take it. And I think that there isn't a more exciting time. Minus, there's a few franchises that need some work in the city, as you well know. But it's nice to have the Bears, trending in a direction where we can just not be making fun of the coach and why he doesn't understand how to coach football, which has been like what the last like 9 coaches in a row or 8.5 coaches in a row. It's just such a joy.
Danny, this is really exciting news for the company, and I know that there are some among the 312 Sports listenership. There are a large percentage of old school scoreheads who hear that name, see that face, and think, "Yeah." I hope they understand where you are in your career, how far you've come, and what a big deal it is. It really, because of your executive experience, and more importantly, not what you've done, but what you can do, and your understanding of this particular business more. And I plan to learn from you as we go along, and because this is, I don't know anything about podcasting either. I basically know the months that we prepared and the months that we're on here, and every day I'm learning more. And I think I still feel like every day I'm waking up saying, what don't I know? And the answer is a profound amount about how we do this and what we do and where we're going to be. I just know how optimistic I am, and it's even more so with you as our boss, or one of our bosses.
Well, I appreciate it. It's very nice of you to say. And listen, I know that, I'll hope to bring as much insight as I can, but as I've always said from the very beginning, it starts with the talent above and beyond anything else. It's not about us, ridiculous program directors, behind the scenes. It's about the talent and what they do and how they execute. And you guys have started off in great fashion. And like, I just hope to keep that going, and we'll keep growing it, across the board. So I appreciate that. And I love the old score heads. I mean, I miss those days of being at the bar and some drunk guy comes up, like, "Can I talk to Terry?" And I'm like, "No, dude. And I'll talk, we'll have a little chat about, can you believe what Mark Trestman did? I'm like, yeah, you can talk to me about it. And then I'll introduce you to Terry or Dave for a second. And then we go, but I love those dudes because that's the passion that we need. And this is an even more intimate environment to connect with them. Most importantly, it's so cool. It's like, and we do it right. They'll really feel the old school, the new school, all of it. I mean, we want everybody, obviously. And then Matt, I'm 1 year away from being able to come on your podcast about being 50 or older.
Nice.
So I expected, yesterday 100%. Was my birthday. I expect an invite a year and a day, like a year from today. I expect that invite. I'll give you all the stupid things I've done through the first 50 years of my life.
Perfect. I love it, man.
5-hour podcast. I got it for you.
Done.
But guys, I'm excited to work with you. Thanks for having me on. And I can't wait. And if you don't like any of the decisions that get made going forward, now you know who to contact to go, why did you make Bernstein do that? And why is Matt doing this now? Now you'll have just, go right at me. You'll know who it is. So that I know that fans love killing the program director. So it's,
yes, sir.
I'm right here for you.
All right, Z. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for taking time for us this morning, and congratulations. And it's great to have you here as part of the family, bud.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Matt. Looking
All right,
forward
we'll
to
talk
it.
to you soon, buddy. All right.
That is Dan Zampillo, Gamut Podcast Network's executive producer. That's
There's so much we could have said that we shouldn't
I
say.
know,
So we didn't
no.
say.
And
I know. Just Zampillo's names that were his on-air names from Terry alone.
I guarantee you somebody's gonna don't put it in the YouTube chat. If you know either one of his old nicknames, just have a little bit of restraint, please.
Well, too late now.
Oops.
Now you've asked for it. Yes.
There, I've done it. All right, let's jump in to some of your correspondence, and we call this Friday Feedback Friday. And you know what the topics have been all week, and I never know what's going to be good or bad. And I try to respond to everything, but sometimes I just save stuff because I like it. And I talked about that. We talked about Arapahoing, which is the term that we use for a television commercial having to take time in the spot to have somebody in the ad identify the celebrity that's been hired. And I said that there was one commercial that made me question my beliefs. And the commercial was the Super Bowl Pokemon commercial. And I didn't even recognize Lady Gaga until the third time through. The only person I recognized was Trevor Noah. And there were other people in there that apparently are world famous. And I said, you know what? I threw up my hands and I said, fine, tell me who they are because I don't know. Well, there's an email from Jacob who says, guys, you've been mentioning that Pokemon commercial and the target audience that you assume. Well, I am a 34-year-old. I grew up on Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I am still buying the games. I am loving the games. I only knew Lady Gaga and Trevor Noah. I could not tell you who the rest of the people were in that ad. If I am presumably the target audience, and I didn't know most of the so-called celebrities, I admit I'm a pop culture idiot, but I don't know how you're going to make an ad aimed at me, and I'm lost after the first 8 seconds. That's Jay and Lake in the Hills.
I think at 34, he's aged out of that target audience for that commercial, though. I think you're looking at like 20-year-olds. Yes.
You think?
Yeah. I think he's too old for that audience as well, too. And on that note, I got a message from our old buddy Herb Lawrence. He said, by the way, thanks for saving a rack Boeing. I can't believe Dan was about to do away with that great tradition. So I'm
not doing away with it.
You tried. You tried to put it away.
I don't need him mad at me. I can't have important people mad at me. That makes me sad and scared.
We were both mad at you. And
damn it.
I could barely speak. I was in such shock that you wanted to do away with it. See what you're doing to our community, to our friends.
All right. This one, it was sent in by Safety Frank. I don't know if
I don't know if he's like a crossing guard or he played in the NFL. I wasn't sure.
I don't know. Or maybe he's just very safe. Maybe he's very careful.
Very risk-free.
He said, I'm listening to you guys talk about the different bratwurst you've had at ballparks. And Matt mentioned having a really good one at the Twins game. He said, there is a very well-known sausage company in Minneapolis. It's Kramarczuk's, Kramarczuk. Kramarczuk Sausage Company, a Minneapolis-based institution. It's the primary provider of bratwurst and sausages for the Minnesota Twins at Target Field. If you're interested, they have a market/restaurant downtown near the university, and the variety of sausages they have off the charts. If you ever go back there, and it's a road trip, take a cooler, bring back some of their Hungarian sausage that is absolutely off the hook. Have yourself a sausage fest. That's
what I had at Target Field. So that's the booth that was at the vendor. That's what I had. It was unbelievable, dude. Seriously.
Kramarczuk's?
Yes.
Okay.
That was what it was.
I thought that would be one of these like difference between recognition and recall. The definition between like if it was on a multiple choice test or a fill in the blank, you'd get it on multiple choice once you saw it.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. Because I wasn't going to remember the name and I didn't bother to look it up, but I thought maybe somebody would email in, and Safety Frank sure did.
There it is.
On that note, too, of food, I know several people had emailed in and mentioned about Bert's Deli, which is here in Libertyville, because I talked about a deli. Yeah, it's good. It's very good. It's not what I think of when I think of a traditional Jewish deli, and I know that's what they are. And it's kind of in an odd spot in town. It's not in downtown Libertyville, but it's yeah. So it's down Milwaukee, a little bit down more towards Vernon Hills, in a little strip mall. So I do forget about Bert's Deli. So thanks for the reminder, and I may actually go there today and grab a sandwich after we're done.
There you go.
Yeah.
While we're talking food, Jason said, on the heels of the discussion of regional/local delicacies like Bourbonnais eggs or Central Indiana shrimp, it reminded me of when I was told of what was the best tartar sauce in the world.
This is great.
Many years ago, my best friend and I took a quick trip to Cincinnati, Ohio to take in a few Phish concerts. As we got into the cab from the airport to take us to our hotel, we got to chatting with our driver, an affable fellow who knew the area well, and he asked if we were hungry. We said yes. He mentioned he knows Chicago has great food, but he asked us if we had ever had the greatest tartar sauce in the world. Our driver didn't look like a world traveler for all we knew. Driving a cab was just to pass the time as he planned his next trip overseas to try the next potentially great tartar sauce. But we told... I love the subtle shade here, because we told him we hadn't had the aforementioned greatest tartar sauce in the world. We asked, where could we find such sauce? He said, at the Fritch's Big Boy. My friend and I were stunned. The greatest tartar sauce in the world? Not just Ohio or Kentucky, but the entire world happened to be right down the street in Cincinnati. So of course we went. We had lunch at the Fritch's Big Boy and determined the tartar sauce was indeed good. World's best? Maybe. I mean, it's fucking tartar sauce. So who's really comparing these? So if you're looking to add to your list of great regional food delicacies, please think of the Fritch's Big Boy tartar sauce in Cincinnati. It might just go well with famous Central Indiana shrimp.
Well, I love that. Then did you look it up then?
I did. And I looked it up and I screenshot it and I sent Jason back a note from Fritch's Big Boy. And on their splash page, it's tradition you love, favorites you crave since 1947. And their lead is known for Big Boy burgers featuring Fritch's famous tartar sauce.
There you go. So they actually advertise their tartar sauce.
My guess is we'd probably call it a burger sauce now. Like most places have kind of some kind of mayo, mustard, ketchup, amalgam burger sauce.
Or maybe it really is a traditional tartar sauce and they just put it on their burgers.
Okay. And they have hand-breaded onion rings, crinkle-cut fries, soups, desserts.
That logo, am I making up a place called Mark's Big Boy?
Bob's
Big Boy. Okay.
Bob's.
How am I thinking of that? Where was that at? Why am I thinking
all
of that?
Over here?
I saw that picture of what you posted, and that the logo, the dude, I thought it was Mark's Big Boy. Okay.
I know in Chicago there was Bob's Big Boy that was, I think it was out of California, and it's similar. I don't know if it was the same. It was the little kid with the cowlick of hair, and there was a like in Austin Powers they had the Big Boy thing at the end, and I know there was one in right near Deerbrook Mall. There was one right at the corner of Lake Cook and Waukegan at the southwest corner. That was the only one I knew. But yeah, there it might be multiple things like you go to New York and it's, everything is Ray's famous pizzeria or Ray's original famous pizzeria. I don't know if there is now an official ownership of a Big Boy or there's multiple Big Boys.
Yeah. So this is Bob's. Where's my?
Yeah. It still exists. Okay.
Yeah. Look, those are like frozen patties. I don't know if I want that, but. Oh, see, here we go. See, I knew I was.
There's a Mark's?
Yeah. There's a Mark's Big Boy, too.
Wow, there is. You're right. All right. Well, look at this.
right.
We're all winners.
we're all right, but no one else has the greatest tartar sauce in the world other than Frisch's.
Yeah, I don't think you want to challenge them on it because it seems like they take it really seriously.
Yeah,
So I probably wouldn't mess with them. All right,
that's
well,
their lead in their advertising. Yeah,
I'm glad we got to the bottom of that. That was nice. Jeff says, "This is my first FFF. Good luck with my first FFF." He says, "Dan, I met you a long time ago at Fox Valley Ice Arena when you were waiting for Jason to play." He said, "We talked. I told you I loved your suit." And I don't know about this guy. He said, "You couldn't have been a nicer dude. I remember you telling me, can you imagine how crazy AAA hockey is? 4 months later, all 3 of my kids made a team." He said, "We learned your instinct was correct. As my wife and I say, we hate money." Apparently. Good luck to you. He goes, "Now, your description of spring training baseball. Remember I said spring training baseball is like, and I couldn't quite nail it down, of something you get excited to eat, and after 2 bites, you're just over it completely. And we had one person suggest Funyuns. And you're a big Funyuns fan. I am not.
I love Funyuns.
See, well, for me, 1 bite is death. That's no, thank you. Like 1 bite. Sometimes something's 1 bite fine, 2nd bite meh, 3rd bite you want to tumbleweed yourself out of the car. He says spring training baseball excitement is buying an Atari 2600 cartridge based on the art on the package. So you're disappointed that picture of baseball was actually 3 guys made out of square blocks that moved at the same direction at the same time, throwing a square ball at a rectangle bat and hitting the ball directly over the pitching rubber for a home run. Anywhere else, who knows?
Yeah, that's a good analogy. That's very good.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Yeah, Funyuns not for me, because Funyuns I don't get any real joy over.
I love Funyuns. Hank has eaten. I've seen him take down a bag of the hot. They have like hot Funyuns now. Which
Does he like Takis?
He loves Takis, dude.
That age, like,
loves them.
I don't know what it is at that age. That was like the absolute Taki peak. Boys and the purple bag of Takis.
Yep.
That's the world.
I've tried them. I don't get it, but it's like whatever. It's fine. Yeah,
they're fine. Alex in Grand Rapids says, "I was listening to your segment about MLB players being measured for the ABS strike zone. I am a practicing physical therapist, and you wondered why or how we shrink throughout the day. Here is the answer. All of our intervertebral discs in our spine have fluid in them. As we move throughout the day, the force of gravity slowly forces some of the fluid out of the discs, and we will lose millimeters to even centimeters of height due to this effect. At night, when we're lying down and sleeping, gravity isn't compressing us. The fluid pushed out of the discs throughout the day gets reabsorbed by the discs. So when we get up in the morning, we will be a few millimeters or centimeters taller than when we went to sleep."
Thank you, science.
Science. Oh, speaking of that,
good job.
The 312 Sports app prizes right now. We know we do this by month. So when we convene on Monday, we're going to be reloading all this. So if you have not gotten in your shots at the gift certificates that we have right now at the 312 Sports app, first of all, get the app. Get the app in the Apple App Store and Google Play. Then register your account. And what's remaining for February, Perry's Steakhouse, an award-winning upscale dining destination, renowned for its rare and well-done experience. Big Star, Big Star, popular honky-tonk style taqueria in Wicker Park and Wrigleyville, bourbon, beer, authentic Mexican street food. STK Steakhouse offers a high-energy vibe dining experience, blending a modern chic steakhouse with a lively lounge atmosphere, and tickets to see Thomas Dolby in concert April 20th at House of Blues. You can win any of these by entering the promo code THANKS. But for Thomas Dolby, you can also enter SCIENCE. I made sure of that. And so everything is going to reload with new cool stuff for the next month. So Perry's, Big Star, STK, and Thomas Dolby, The keywords are thanks, and for Thomas Dolby, science. So get after it. Get on it. SV says, first-time caller, long-time listener. My thoughts on the discussion about Ben Johnson's hatred for the Packers. He says, I don't think it's a bit at all. I'm surprised that you guys have not considered the following comparison. Ben is an extreme competitor, which makes him a certifiable crazy person. Just like another great Chicagoan, Michael Jordan. I'm sure we all remember MJ's famously petty Hall of Fame speech, where he recounted numerous slights that drove him throughout his career, manufactured or otherwise. I think Ben Johnson's channeling Jordan, creating the motivation to be good, better, best. And the Packers are the easy and obvious choice against whom he can focus all that energy.
Yeah, I still think it's a bit.
Okay, I was going to ask sort of where you come down on that, because we do have, and I wanted to finish with a dissenting opinion on that topic, because there was a lot on that topic, and it's from Stonecutter, who we know has deep and complex thoughts about things. He says the question is not, is Ben Johnson doing a bit? He obviously is. The question is, at what point does it cease to be a bit and turn into genuine hatred that we actually should respect? Inshallah, the Bears will rattle off 10 in a row against Green Bay. But eventually, the professional football team from Brown County, Wisconsin, is going to beat the Bears. And while Matt LaFleur may take the high road, the players certainly won't. Let's see the seesaws a bit, and each successive game turns the heat up a little. It won't take long before it's not a bit anymore. Frankly, this is the most fun I've ever had as a Bears fan. I want every team to hate us. I want our coach taunting the entire league on the way to winning the Super Bowl. We Bears fans have been subjected to 40 years of bullshit. Boring, listless football, punctuated by brief spasms of success. Ben Johnson has 20% of the playoff victories in the post-Ditka era. And still the franchise continues to embarrass us with the stadium fiasco. A crumble of swag, Mr. McCaskey, a thimbleful of aura. Can you fire Kevin Warren the day before JB signs the stadium bill? No. Ben had better hate these guys, or at least keep pretending real hard. We, you guys, all of us, we've earned this. Bathe in it.
Very good. Did you see that Matt LaFleur, his overall head coaching grade dropped?
It did.
Yes.
We're going to get to that.
Okay.
I was saving that for forward progress.
Okay.
But yes, I was definitely going to get to that. Thanks for all your Friday feedback.
Yeah, always good. Do appreciate it. So now it's our top 10 list for our Friday. And today's top 10 list, we had a little conversation about it, and we were going to do just top 10 concerts we've been to. Mm-hmm. But I made it a little bit of a broader path again to widen that out. So top 10 live events. Top 10 live events. That could include concerts.
For my exercise, I wanted to limit this because I've been to enough. I'm not a huge concert guy, but I've actually been to more than I thought.
Okay. So yours is just concerts. I have mostly, so my top 10 is actually 70% concerts. So I have 7 concerts, and then I have other live events that I've been to, and then some honorable mentions. So I'll start with those real quick and get through those quickly. A couple of these have a sports flavor to them, like the Cubs championship celebration that day downtown. I'll remember that forever. But really, the main reason why I'll remember it, because we were working that day as well, getting off the train, walking towards the building to go to work that day, I saw Graham Elliott, celebrity chef, walking down the street in a group headed towards Grant Park to enjoy the celebration. I stopped. I said hello, introduced myself. He was familiar with the score. We chatted for a few minutes, told him I was a fan of his work, and that was it. But I had a really nice chat with him. that he was pleasant and he was open to a conversation, was really enjoyable.
Cool.
So meeting Graham Elliott, that's why that stands out. The 2010 Blackhawks parade, where I got to ride in the parade itself and had McNeil hang up on me, which was fun. I'll never, ever forget that. A couple other honorable mentions were some musicals that I've seen with Natalie. We saw West Side Story at the Marriott Theater, Lincolnshire, which is just a great, very intimate, small venue to see things.
Is that still in the round?
It is. It's great. Yeah, great production, and it's just really, really enjoyable. And we love it because it's super close. Down at the Nederlander Theater downtown, we saw the Devil Wears Prada musical, which was great, and always remember that. And last honorable mention, this was actually June 11th, 2016. She performed at the Blue Cross Blue Shield Performance Studio for US 99, and it was country singer Kelsey Ballerini before she really blew up and got big. I was walking down the hallway and walked past her and said, "Oh, that's Kelsey Ballerini." So I said, "Hey, how are you?" She said, "Hello back." I said, "My daughter is a huge fan." She said, "Oh, that's great. What's her name?" And I said, "Abigail." She said, "Give me your phone." Took my phone out, and she made a selfie video saying hello to Abigail and said that wish she'd be able to meet her and thanks for listening to her music. So that was that. So she then went and snuck into the performance studio and watched her perform. But that was a really cool memory and really cool of her to do that. So that's an honorable mention as well. So here's my top 10. And the top 10 for me starts September of 2010, also with a musical at the Bank of America Theater where I saw Rock of Ages. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know if you saw that at all.
I didn't, but it's always one of those like, okay, I bet this is fun.
It was a ton of fun. All the 80s, rock music, fun story to it. Now, unfortunately, a couple years later, it got completely ruined when they did the Rock of Ages movie.
Oh.
You remember when they did that with Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, but number 10 is the Rock of Ages. Number 9, this goes back to June 28th, 1983. My first concert ever. My friend Chad York and I were dropped off at Poplar Creek alone at 10 years old, and we saw Herbie Hancock. It was the Future Shock album, the famous song Rocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was, a blend of jazz and like funk, and it was just it was really cool.
Seminal. That's a really like Rocket for you talk to hip hop heads and about what that meant and the mainstream success with scratching and sampling and what that meant. Yeah, that's a seminal song.
So that was my first concert ever, Herbie Hancock at Poplar Creek. That's 1983 and number 9. Number 8 on the list. This was a good concert, July 28th of 2007. The Flip Flop Summer Tour, and that featured Kenny Chesney. Also had Pat Green, Brooks and Dunn, Sugarland, Sarah Evans. But Kenny Chesney stands out to me because he performed and I'm not exaggerating, I think 3 hours. He went nonstop. Wow. And his stage was real big and real elaborate. And on one side of the stage, he had a ramp that went up, and then there was like a wall in the back of the stage, ramp and down on the other side of the stage. He would go off stage for just a matter of seconds to change sleeveless T-shirts because I would imagine he was sweating through them profusely. So he would go off the stage, go behind stage, and within seconds come back out in a different colored sleeveless T-shirt, but didn't stop for almost 3 hours. And it was just really, really cool. And that stood out to me. I'm a fan of Kenny Chesney. I'm not, he probably isn't I'm not going to say he's one of my favorite country guys, but really enjoyable show. And just that's what stood out to me is the fact that he just performed like a maniac for 3 hours. And that was at Soldier Field, by the way. And we talked about concerts at Soldier Field. I'd forgotten I'd actually seen that one there. Number 7, this is November 9th, 2016, the Stars and Stripes concert at Chicago Theater put on by US 99 and CBS Radio.
America.
Why it stands out for me, I went with Paul Agassi.
Okay.
That's not why it stands out. Why
did he have his rollerblades on?
He did not have his rollerblades on or his bike pants.
Okay.
But we got backstage, credentialed and went back and met the dudes from Rascal Flatts. And the lead singer, Gary Laveau.
Yeah.
I talked to him for probably a half hour and couldn't have been a nicer guy. And took a bunch of pictures. Yeah, it was really, really neat. So that's why it stands out. It was just a really cool experience to go backstage and see the guys from Rascal Flatts and talk with Gary for quite some time. So that was number 7. Number 6 on my top 10 live events. This was one that, and a few of these are, including the number 1, which probably will surprise you. A few of these events were initiated by Natalie, and probably not something I would have picked to go see, but having gone and seen, to see them with her, which was, why I want to do it, want to spend time with her and hang out, and she wants to do it. I want to support that, but absolutely loved these events. This being the first on the list. Number 6, December 14th, 2021, at the Rialto Square Theater in Joliet, a Motown Christmas, featuring former members of the Temptations, the Miracles, and the Contours.
Let's go.
Okay, dude.
Now, first of all, the fact that she would say, like, yeah, we're going to this. I got you a ticket, get in the car.
She loves Motown. She loves Motown. When we went to Detroit, and the fact that we couldn't get into Motown because the museum was closed, she was beyond the moon excited to see Motown. So to go see a Motown Christmas, I was like, yeah, this is going to be cool. I know the music. So have actual former members of these groups, the Temptations, the Miracles, the Contours. I love Christmas music. But dude, I'm wearing a suit. She's wearing a dress, like a glittery dress. We got really dressed up. We had a nice dinner beforehand at a supper club. And we go, and the majority of the audience, probably 95% of the audience, was like 75 and older, black men and women. Dude, it was awesome. Awesome. And so at one point, Natalie, I don't know if she went to the bathroom or she went to grab a couple drinks, but I was left alone and was ruthlessly hit on by a group of older black women.
Aunties.
Oh, dude. Like, it was fierce.
You got the aunties all aflutter.
So when she came back, I'm like, you can't leave again. And she's like, why? And I'm like, I was just like ruthlessly being hit on by these women that were sitting around
what were
us.
they saying?
Oh, about how good I looked. And it was like, it was great. But I was so embarrassed at the same time, but had so much fun with it. And again, and then the music was just insane. It was so enjoyable.
That's great.
It was just a great night. So that's number 6, Motown Christmas. Number 5, and this would have been higher on the list, except something happened. So September 2014, Garth Brooks at Allstate Arena. So if I were to say who's my favorite country artist of all, it would be Garth Brooks. He's the reason I started listening to country music. 1991, driving, I was in high school, and I flipped the stations, and I heard a Garth Brooks song, and I'm like, who is this guy? This is a good song. It was US 99, and they're like, oh, it's Garth Brooks, No Offense's album. So 1991, I did what an 18-year-old does. You go to the mall, you go to Tower Records, you buy the CD, love the whole CD, started to buy all the Garth Brooks, and then that's when I was like, listen to country and nothing but country because of Garth Brooks. Now, why it's only number 5 on my list. I went to this concert with my buddy Mark. The next day, I texted Mark, and I said, hey, great time, great hanging out. He was like, yeah, it was awesome. I go, I'm a little bit disappointed that Garth didn't sing Friends in Low Places. Like, his anthem.
Even Mark, I know that one.
Right. Mark replies with a video text message back.
Of him playing it.
A selfie video of Mark and I singing Friends in Low Places with Garth Brooks in the background. Now, important to say that we did have a driver for that night. I don't remember Garth Brooks singing Friends in Low Places because of too many Captain and Cokes at the concert. So
yeah, I've got a story like this coming up for my number 5. Yeah.
So that was my number 5. Probably would have been higher, except I don't remember all of it, which is unfortunate. Number 4 for me, top 10 live events. September 2nd, 2022, the Higher Tour, Michael Bublé at Allstate Arena. Again, another Natalie event. I like Michael Bublé, but probably wouldn't have gone to see him at a concert. Ended up having an amazing time, and we were like third row. And he had the stage that walked out from the long walkway from the stage
proscenium
itself. And so we were right next to it, dude. And he was like 6 feet away from us singing, and it was just he's quite the entertainer. He has an amazing voice, just a really, really great time, and just another great memory with my wife. So that's number 4, Michael Bublé, the Higher Tour at Allstate Arena. Number 3, I do venture back into the sports realm, but not for the game itself. And this is why it's memorable. May 14th, 1996, it was Jeremy Roenick's final game as a Chicago Blackhawk. Came as a 6-5 overtime loss to Colorado in the playoffs. My brother, Dan, and I, we actually ponied up at the time, again, 1996, $100 each, Dan, to sit on the glass. That's all it was. And Roenick, after the game was over, came back out onto the ice by himself and skated the perimeter of the ice several times as no one left the building to cheer and to remember Jeremy Roenick. So I'll never forget that, having that memory with my brother, but seeing Roenick, his last game, he was my favorite Blackhawk of all time. So that live event right there. And again, not for the game itself, but the memory of Jeremy Roenick. So May 14th, 1996. Number 2 is a concert at Wrigley Field. We've talked about on this show, July 16th, 2009. Billy Joel and Elton John at Wrigley.
Yeah, Beth was there. That's one of her all-time favorites.
Oh, dude, it's just my favorite concert. It was just insane to see two legends perform and to perform each other's music and to perform together and perform individually. But the fact, and here's why I loved it the most, and even 2009, I wasn't that old, I got to sit the entire concert.
Yes.
Which was like a huge win. It's like, yeah, you get to sit the entire time. So it was great. So number 2, Billy Joel, Elton John. And number 1, this might surprise you. And again, this is not something I would have ever picked to do, but it's something my wife wanted to do. And this is December 8th of 2024. We're in New York City. It was always a dream of hers to see this show. I didn't realize the impact it would have on me and how much I thoroughly enjoyed it and was entertained and loved it and would do it again and again and again. The Christmas Spectacular Show at Radio City by the Rockettes. Dude, listeners maybe think, our community may hear this and think, I would never go see that. Why would you want? I'm telling you, Dan, number one,
the best live event you've ever seen.
I've ever been to is the Christmas Spectacular by the Rockettes at Radio City in New York City. Dude, it was unbelievable. The amount of talent and athleticism that the Rockettes display during this show is wild. I again, encouraged and excited to go spend that time with my wife to fulfill that memory of hers, lifelong memory of seeing it. I didn't realize that I'd be so impacted and moved by it and love it so much and was so thoroughly entertained. I was blown away. So number 1 for me, all-time live event, the Christmas Spectacular by the Rockettes at Radio City.
I went to college with a couple of Rockettes, actually.
No way.
Yeah, they're identical twins. Kathleen and Kimberly Corp, I think was their last name, C-O-R-P.
That's cool.
And they were like brilliant, but also into dancing. And they both for a while, I think they're probably lawyers or doctors, but they for a while were Rockettes.
Yeah, dude, that's really, really cool. And again, guys might be listening going, well, that sounds lame, or I would never want to do that. I'm telling you, dude, if you were to sit and see that and watch how they perform in this nonstop show of costume changes and set changes, it's unbelievable. And then the whole atmosphere itself inside the theater. It's Christmas time in New York and everyone's dressed up and the singing is just unreal. And again, the Rockettes they're absolute superstars.
That's so cool. I would never in a million years.
Never in a million years would you guess that, right?
Yeah, but I love the fact that you had these experiences because of your wife just saying, hey, I want to do this. You're coming with me. You're experiencing this with me, and saying yes, and just saying, go ahead. Like the last time Beth invited me to a concert, I said no.
What was it?
Springsteen.
Okay. Oh, she loves Springsteen.
Well, she likes him, but she felt it was her duty as a Jersey girl.
As a Jersey girl?
Like, she's like, I have to. She said, I'm from Mattawa, New Jersey, and he's coming to Wrigley, whatever it was. I got to go see him. And so she did. I'm like, take a friend.
Did she like it? Did she have a...
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah. So of course I want to, do things that, my wife wants to do. She does things that I want to do and supports that. And to have it just to be something where I want to spend time with her and support her in what she wants to enjoy.
Yes.
To love it myself was just great. So that Motown Christmas, the Rockettes, and I know, because I think our only experience with the Rockettes as dudes is generally you see them on TV do a thing and they do the line kicks and it's like, whatever. There's so much more to it. That's what's amazing about it. And again, the athleticism and their athletic ability is just, it's on full display and it's really, really cool.
When you are in the market for windows, you got to call Russ Armstrong and don't screw around with anything else, because I know you're tempted. I know you hear these other offers. Like, well, is Russ going to do buy one, get one free? Or is he going to do get one, buy two, get three, 50% off and all that? Don't worry about it. He's going to match any price. And you don't have to deal with all of those silly, gimmicky come-ons. You just call Russ at 847-302-9171. And then you've got the Chicago window guys. And then you know that whatever those other deals are, he's going to match the best price. He is going to make the windows at his factory in Chicago. He's not going to sell you stuff you don't want or you don't need. He's just going to explain everything to you, say, here's what windows cost. And if you have somebody out there and they offer some ridiculous price, if he can match it, he's going to match it because he promises to do that. Call him. And when you're getting quotes, ask those other sales reps who's installing your windows. And they're not going to know. They won't be able to answer. Russ will be able to tell you by name who's installing your windows because his crews work for him. There's not third-party labor. Nobody subcontracted who's just there that day is wandering around your house. Everybody works for Russ. And like I say, he makes things all locally here in Chicago. He's done my entire house, and I've recommended him to friends and family and coworkers, and everybody loves the product, and they love the attention that Russ will give you. He's got all the 5-star reviews you want to read at chicagowindowguys.com. But call him right now, 847-302-9171. And if you really enjoyed watching curling at the Winter Olympics, talk to him about curling. Just bring it up casually. Just talk to him about that. So give him a ring. All right, I did just concerts. Okay. Because when you and I don't know if I didn't include comedians, so I would put that in my. This is just music.
Sure.
So I'd put in my honorable mentions. I've seen Eddie Izzard 3 times. Eddie or Susie, he goes by both. He said either is fine, and I've seen him on stage doing the full comedy act twice, and the third time we saw him was when he did Hamlet solo at the Chicago Shakespeare Theater right down here, which is mind-blowing. Absolutely mind-blowing. It completely changes the way you think about Hamlet to see him do every single part of Hamlet. So that's one of my honorable mentions there. Also, I put most of the Ravinia stuff in honorable mention because when you're out on the lawn...
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think of Ravinia.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
When you're out on the lawn and you're having your cold salmon or whatever you're having and your rosé, you don't really get into the music. So technically, yes, I've seen whatever it's been, Lyle Lovett or Beck with the CSO. I've seen the CSO multiple times in the 1812 Overture with the Cannons, and I've seen them doing Mendelssohn's Midsummer Night's Dream. All great.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, if you're on the lawn, it's the music's the backdrop.
Yeah.
And it's just the atmosphere of being with friends or family.
You're talking
and
to people.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're having
always a great experience though. Yeah.
It's gorgeous, but it's not. You're not there to really be of the music. So
I should bring cold salmon next time because I always bring live salmon, and it's so difficult to nail it down. Yeah, it's anyway. It's a good idea though. I'm writing that down. Cold.
Such a jerk. You're such a jerk.
Why am I a jerk? I'm just saying that was a good. Whatever.
I'm not saying you bring like a hot plate or
you bring a generator and a hot plate. You never know.
One of those like what the Coleman stove like Wade Fishes has. Where he. Wherever they
could do that.
I also, as honorable mention, all of the awesome 4 or 5 song concerts they would have in the other tower over here at the performance stage.
Yep.
It was great because I loved it, but I don't count that as a full concert experience.
Sure.
But just off the top of my head, Spoon, Black Pumas, Pete Yorn, Father John Misty, Lucas Nelson, and Billy Idol.
That's cool.
And Wilson of Heart. But yeah, Billy Idol was great when he wasn't singing. He was just telling stories, just hanging out. He was hilarious. And he's just seeing a real rock star. And what the power of an actual rock star standing right in front of you with 30 people there, that's pretty special, but I didn't count those. I gave a little bit of honorable mention for like weird groups of people, strange concerts or things you just wouldn't see anymore that you knew were kind of odd at the time or special. So one of those I have was the Common at Cameron Indoor Stadium. Young MC opened for UB40.
Oh,
that was a very strange concert that you went from.
Yes.
My best friend Harry has a brother Larry, and then it's red wine. Yep.
Yeah.
So I just put that in there because that was just weird. That's one where with every year that goes by, I don't know if it actually happened or not. But if you get on setlist.com, you can determine indeed it happened.
Okay.
Setlist.com is necessary depending on how much you imbibe at concerts. Because then it's like, did they really cover that song or did I dream that? And then you can go back and say, oh, they did. They did cover that song. Also, I got two other honorable mentions, Steve Miller Band at Poplar Creek and Shabba Ranks at the Vic in 1991. Because that was during the heyday of the dancehall reggae resurgence. I was really into it. And a lot of these concerts get extra credit for being the thing I was most into at the time and just at the moment feeling like it was the peak of my existence.
Got it.
Just understand, like, I'm so into this. I got to see this show, and going to it and understanding that feeling. Number 10, I will never forget. May 16th, 1986, the Aragon Ballroom, back when that was a sketchy area. And I remember this for a lot of reasons. It was the Violent Femmes. The opener was Dwight Yoakam.
Wow.
So, and if you, yeah, and it was bad. So it was the old, I haven't been to the Aragon Ballroom since, I don't think. But
how did Dwight Yoakam open for Violent Femmes?
I don't know. They booed him off the stage.
Well, no
shit. He got booed off. He started guitar Cadillacs, hillbilly music, and people were like, "What the hell is this?" They were throwing beer at them, like they would serve beer in these big plastic buckets.
Yeah,
and people were like throwing stuff at him. And after 3 songs, they walked off. And everybody was giving the finger to everybody. The guitarist was giving the finger to everybody. Dwight Yoakam flipped everybody off. 3 songs they left.
Well, I'd blame his manager on that one.
It was bad. Yeah, that's why I remember it. I was like, oh my God, this is wild. And then the Violent Femmes did a show, and my cousin had parked his car underneath the L track somewhere. He found some spot that wasn't a spot. And we go to his car, and as we walk to his car, there are 3 skinheads sitting on his car.
Oh boy.
Like full-blown actual skinheads. With the Doc Martens, and we're like, and I said, Adam, what are we gonna do? They're sitting on your car. We thought we were gonna die, and we like walked over there, and they were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, is this your car? Oh, sorry, we were just sitting on here." And they're really apologetic.
Wow.
Yeah,
all right, so that's unexpected.
Yeah,
lots of unexpected things that night.
Like, oh, they're really courteous skinheads.
So when was that? When was that concert?
I think it was May. I want to say May 16th of 86.
Okay, yeah, because his debut album, Guitars and Cadillacs, which good recall by you there, that came out in March of 86. So that's my brand new debut album. I'm going to do a live show in Chicago. Woo! That's
opening for the Violent Femmes.
Yeah, so bad call.
That's number 10. Number 9, you're going to roll your eyes at this, but this was January 21st of 2001.
Okay.
At House of Blues. It had recently opened. And the Dandy Warhols opened for Smash Mouth.
Oh.
And it was a great show. The Dandy Warhols, who they still have songs that sound awesome. And if you want to go back and listen to the album that has Bohemian Like You on it, holds up. It's still terrific. And the Dandy Warhols were great. And then Smash Mouth, I know the lead singer went crazy and died and everything. It was
on stage?
No, not that night. But yeah, he completely lost his mind and went absolutely bananas. So but Smash Mouth, they were good. He walks out. And I remember because the sound system at House of Blues when it opened was phenomenal. It still is, but that was like the highest tech, newest stuff when it opened, and the sound was incredible. And they come out, and the lead singer walks out with an open bottle of Jaeger, and he takes a big swig out of it as the band starts playing. I think they did. I don't know if it was actually. I can check to see exactly what they did, but I'm not going to. I don't know if it was one of their hits, like Walking on the Sun or something. And he takes a huge swig out of the bottle of Jaeger, hands the bottle down into the audience. Ugh. And he goes, "Pass this around. It makes the music sound better." And the reason why Smash Mouth was good, they did Van Halen covers. They did Running with the Devil. And they did a version of Ain't Talking About Love that blew the roof off. Their Ain't Talking About Love was fantastic. It was the best song they did all night. and it was great. So that was number 9. Number 8 was May of 2011, Paul Simon at the Vic. And it was Paul Simon with the 10 musicians, 2 guitar techs, the quality of the talent. They had instruments you'd never heard of and never seen. It was like a bass saxophone, because they did stuff from every album, his entire collection. Old Simon and Garfunkel stuff, Rhythm of the Saints stuff, Graceland, and they needed all of the stuff, all the people that could do like the Ladysmith Black Mambazo voicing for the African choruses, all the stuff that he stole and culturally appropriated from elsewhere. It was him still in good voice at his age. I think he was 70, but still sounding like himself and still a pliant guitarist. And it was just an amazing show that they finished. Their encore was Here Comes the Sun. And in a really memorable way. It was a great vibe and just a really, really good night on a beautiful night in Chicago. Paul Simon at the Vic is number 8. Number 7, September of 1990, the Greensboro Coliseum, Eric B. and Rakim.
Nice.
Followed by Ice Cube and Yo-Yo.
Wow.
It was supposed to be also the DOC who was on the bill, but the DOC was a late scratch. And I don't know if that timed up with one of the accidents that he had, but we drove from school down to Greensboro. Eric B. and Rakim were good. Ice Cube was great.
Oh, I bet.
That was the America's Most Wanted album. It was after his break from NWA, and he and Yo-Yo knew how to work that. They owned that crowd, and it was a very, very interesting cross section of people that were there in the Coliseum that night. But that was a heck of a show. Number 6, July 5th, 2007, The Police at Wrigley. It was my first Wrigley Field concert, and this was the reunion tour. And we didn't know. Nobody really knew. What do they still have it? Andy Summers is 100 years old, and the drummer and Stuart Copeland and Sting hate each other, and they hate working with each other. So people were wondering how it was all going to go down, and it was great. It was great. Even if Sting couldn't hit some of the high falsetto notes on Roxanne, and they had to tune it down an octave, perhaps.
That's a lot to ask.
It was a great show, and it was we had the Bud Light tickets at Wrigley Field, and like all the beer we could drink, and a bathroom right there, and things were really good. Number 5, July 21st, 1989, The Who at Alpine Valley, and that was my first favorite rock band growing up. The first time I really started getting into rock and roll. There wasn't like pop music of the time when I sort of had a band. And I owned every album, and I bought books about them, and I wanted to know everything about them, and I would watch the VHS movies. That was the first band that I was just crazy about, was The Who. And Alpine Valley was the whole experience was quite something. We got there early, and we pre-gamed a lot, and we kept pre-gaming, and I kind of had to settle things down. And then right around the start of the first set, I'm not going to indict the person with me, but I had a lot of mushrooms, and was absolutely tripping balls. So I don't know what was like hallucinated and what was real, and what I was just like kind of taking. It was a long show. I did go back and look at the set list, and it was long, and I knew it was, but it was amazing. Absolutely amazing. If you look at the second set that they did, Magic Bus, Baba O'Reilly, My Generation, A Little Is Enough, 515, Love Rain Ormy, Sister Disco, Rough Boys, Joined Together, You Better You Bet, Behind Blue Eyes. They closed with Won't Get Fooled Again. The encore was Eminence Front, the cover of the Leaves song Hey Joe, and then they finished. The 33rd song of the night was Twist and Shout, which is an interesting thing to close on.
So would it have been more memorable without all the mushrooms?
Don't know.
You don't know. Yeah. So it's funny. Our number 5 is both impacted by things we consumed. And
Yeah, but it wasn't a problem with the memory. It was a problem of like what was real and what wasn't.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting. Yeah. So yeah, reason 732. Why I don't drink. So just forgetting things. Not good.
Yeah. But that was a thing, is what that was. The number 4 concert on my list, and one that I didn't expect it to be sort of as moving as it was. And that was Peter Gabriel on December 5th, 1986 at the Rosemont Horizon. And that was with the opener Yusu Endure. And this was for the So album, but he had all kinds of other songs on there. Some of the older stuff of Shock the Monkey and I Have the Touch, San Jacinto, and Salisbury Hill, and he finished with Biko. It was an avant-garde, artistically presented, technologically savvy concert in a way that was very ahead of its time. So that was incredibly memorable and special to me. Number 3, November 4th, 1989. We got a call the day before that, hey, there's an unlisted pop-up concert that's going on tomorrow in Chapel Hill. This place, Cat's Cradle, is a basement. It's like maybe 300 people. It's literally a basement of this big, I don't even know what the other building is on top, like a community center or something. But Cat's Cradle is a venue underground right off of Franklin Street in Chapel Hill. And it was Public Enemy in 1989.
Nice.
We had to go get these little wristbands because there weren't actual hard tickets. And because it was just like word of mouth. They were doing it as some sort of late ad warm-up show. They were 2 hours late. And the poor guy, I'll never forget his name. His name was Kasim, who they sent out to open. And he had 2 songs and then ran out of material. And they asked him to keep stretching, and he had no game. And it was say hey yo. So we're like, I get this guy off of there. 2 hours later, we were going to leave because nobody knew if they were showing up. And they showed up and they killed it.
That's great.
Absolutely killed it. So Public Enemy at Cat's Cradle was number 3. Number 2, back to Wrigley Field, September 15th, 2015, AC/DC. And to have an 11-year-old Jason Bernstein there with Beth and me. Zoe didn't want to go. And that was Jason's first like real rock concert. And I got globs of the silicone earplugs and like shoved it in both of his ears, and he kept trying to peel it out, and he was loving it and the whole thing, and wearing the light up devil horns. And that was the first time I got to experience a rock concert with wife and son. Amazing seats, close enough to the stage for full-blown AC/DC, loud as shit. And and during the middle of Hell's Bells, my cousin texts me from the corner of Ashland and Irving Park and says, Hell's Bells sounds great from here. True story. And number 1, best concert I have ever seen. October 3rd of 1987, REM at Cameron Indoor Stadium on the Document Tour. Absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that it was also free, because if you just had your student ID, there were no tickets, there were no reserved seats. They give you time. I walked out of my dorm and I walked into the concert, and I was in the 7th row. And it was just like, that can't be possible. Well, it was. We just walked in and sat down, and there we were. And the opener was 10,000 Maniacs.
Nice.
And Natalie Merchant starts singing during that first part, and he walks out, Michael Stipe walks out, and they do a duet together that was sensational. I had to go back and this is one where I'm like, did they really cover what I thought they covered? And yeah, they obviously were there to really push Document. So a lot of stuff from Document, but then there were other things that they did were on there. They did Driver 8 and Superman Pretty Persuasion. Begin to Begin was the last song before the encore. Their encore included covers of Strange by Wire, Midnight Blue by Lou Gramm, Heartbreak Beat by the Psychedelic Furs, I Still Haven't Found What I'm Looking For by U2, Peace Train by Cat...
Probably better, too, as well.
Peace Train by Cat Stevens, and REM did Bad by Michael Jackson.
Oh, wow. How was that?
It was REM doing Michael Jackson. Then Disturbance at the Heron House and Fall on Me. The second encore was the Trogs with A Girl Like You. Then Don't Go Back to Rockville. Then the television song See No Evil. And then the 30th song of the night was The One I Love. And the according to Setlist, the song that for which Michael Stipe joined Natalie Merchant was A Campfire Song by 10,000 Maniacs. I'm just noticing that there. But that was the best concert I've ever seen.
Cool. Very cool.
All right. Good stuff. Very good.
Yeah, I'm still a little concerned about Dwight Yoakam opening for Violent Femmes.
It happened.
Aragon. That's
somebody made a very bad decision.
Yeah, that's a bad call.
Yeah. And Dwight Yoakam's a really well-respected artist, isn't he?
Very much so.
Yes.
And actor, too, now.
Yes. Yeah, serious dude. And that is today's Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. We thank Gamut Podcast Network executive producer Dan Zampillo. God, that's weird to say. That's a lot to say. But he joined us today for his official unveiling, for his coming out party.
And, of course, we thank all of you.
Absolutely. And it's for Friday Feedback Friday. And again, even the ones I didn't use, I tried to get, I read them all. And sometimes my plan deviates depending on where the conversation goes and all that. But I do save them in a special folder, and I appreciate them. And everything gets proper consideration. So as always, it is appreciated. Make sure you listen to Forward Progress. Today we get into all of the Bears stuff that's going on at the Combine. And we've got the player survey that wasn't supposed to get out, that got out, that is going to keep getting out each year. They do it regardless, and I don't know if the owners realize that. So we'll discuss all of it, but have a wonderful weekend, and then we will be right back at things on Monday here. This has been Dan Bernstein Unfiltered, brought to you by our friends at Chicago Window Guys. That is Russ Armstrong, ChicagoWindowGuys.com, 847-302-9171.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports.